I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC. Alright guys, I have another awesome little microframe here to review for you today. Check this out. This is the Grasshopper 94mm quad, and yes, doesn't it look exactly like, except smaller than what I reviewed yesterday. This was the Leader 120, and actually this frame is designed by the same designer of the Leader 120. Pretty cool. They actually stopped by and visited our YouTube channel and said hello just yesterday when this video went up for this Leader 120. Pretty cool quad. Now this is the little brother to the Leader 120, and it's sporting pretty much the same gear on here as well. 4-in-1 10 amp BL Heli ESCs here, running D-Shot 600, and I have the motor idle speed set to 10 on there in the Betaflight configuration if you're looking for that. I also took the liberty to go ahead and mod this and change it out to an XT30. Take this JST off here and put yourself an XT30 on there, and you'll have a much better experience with this power system. I did the same thing on the Leader 120, and I had no brownouts. Also, turning up that motor idle speed to 10 will work just fine on this. Now, it does have an older camera on here. That's the VM2751. It's a version 1.0, and it's 600 TVL, all-in-one 5.8 gigahertz camera, so it's going to be good with your Fatsharks or any other goggles. It does have some type of rubber band type system on the bottom for the battery. Looks like I'll just throw one there. They only put 2 screws on the motors, and that's nice because it lightens it up a little bit, but the power to weight ratio is great on these quads, especially with this XT30 mod on here. It is going to go through the ceiling. It does come with some props that are sort of maybe a little bit sketchy. I'm not going to say that these are going to be great. These are those 5-blade props. Not the greatest in my experience, but I believe these look a little better quality than some of last year's 5-blade props. So I will give these a shot. I'll give these a try. I think I could probably bend these back. They feel pretty durable. Now I'm going to also test with the GemFan 2035s. You guys know this as one of my favorite props for my brushless micros right now. Very reliable prop, and actually a very durable prop. They bend almost to 90 degrees, and I can bend them back and keep flying. They take a lot of beating. So we also have 1104. I believe there's 7500 kVs on here, but you know what? I noticed something else about this quad. Check this out. If you wanted to upgrade to something like a Foxeer Minicam or the Micro Swift, this looks like it'll actually fit inside this frame. So take this off, upgrade to this. You also have plenty of room back here for an external VTX to hook right into this micro cam. This is well worth the upgrade. If you want to, it's like a night and day upgrade from this camera, the 600 TVL old school AIO from last year, to something that is very, very high quality, and also has OSD on here. But this one's also sporting OSD, so no problem. If you want to keep that same OSD, you can through this camera, or you can add the Foxeer on-screen OSD as well and let you know what the battery telemetry is. It's a pretty cool little camera. But also check out the Micro Swift. Either of those would probably fit in here with just a little bit of persuasion. The frame is wide enough to accept it, so that's pretty cool. Now it does come with this battery with the JST connector on here, and I have another one sitting here just to show you that I did change it out to an XT30. So go ahead and do that with yours. I'm going to do it with this one as well. I'm also trying out these Makerfire 2S 350 milliamps, and these are 60C, so this is going to be a pretty good battery for this one. I flew these batteries on this one, the Leader 120, and these work really, really good. I'll try to put a link down below for these. These are not available yet by themselves from GearBest. I'm hoping that GearBest gets a supply of these. If GearBest is listening right now to this video, please do stock some good high C rated 2S batteries for these brushless micros, because there's a lot of guys looking for batteries for their brushless micros, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of them available out there right now. So please do that, guys. Also, you get some prop guards with it. These prop guards look okay. They go right on the bottom, and make sure you use the extra hardware that came along with these. If you take these off, whatever you do, don't put these screws back into your motors without the prop guards on. You'll damage the motor, you'll actually kill your motor. So very important that you use these screws only with the prop guards. I'm gonna leave them off. but they look decently durable. They probably could crack, but I think they'll be just fine. Now you get something else in here. This is interesting. It looks like a battery guard. It goes on the bottom of your battery just to protect your battery, and the rubber band would go right around this on top of it with your battery in between there. And make sure you put your little piece of Velcro on there as well. I already have a little bit of Velcro on these, and we're gonna tuck these wires down just like that, and we should be good to go there. Also, it has a beeper on the back, which is really nice, and it comes with no receiver, guys, so you're gonna have to add your own micro receiver, and I'll try to put a link down below for Futuba and Spektrum, guys. The SBUS is right here on this side. You'll have SBUS, 5 volt, and ground there. On that furthest outside mark, that rail right there, is where you're going to install your receiver. So remember, SBUS, 5 volt, and ground right there. And that's the way you're going to hook that up. But this is a unibody design, just like the other one, the Leader 120. It just has shorter arms and pretty much very close to similar size for the top part, the stack. And it's absolutely the same power system on both of these. So I'm interested to see how well and how awesome this one flies on the 2S battery we have here and on that Maker Fire. So let's go ahead and get this one set up with the radio in beta flight, and we'll go outside and do some flight tests and some commentary on how well this one flies. Alright guys, here we go for this flight test of the little Grasshopper 94. Now, I'm trying the Gemfan 2035s on this flight test. You can see there's a little bit of jello here, maybe a little bit of vibe. Some of the D could probably come down a little bit, and it could be adjusted in the PIDs, but this is looking pretty smooth right out of the gate here. I'm just kind of playing around in the playground here, looking for some small gaps. This thing is so tiny, so I can really get into a lot of places I really can't with a larger, like 130 size quad. But it seems to have pretty good power to weight ratio. Like the Leader 120, it's actually a really lightweight frame. I'm not going to say that the carbon fiber on this one is super durable, because I think it looks like a cheaper grade carbon fiber, if I can just be honest for a minute. And we're trying to do some more honest reviews. So if you get one, I would suggest maybe getting another frame kit, because I think this is not as thick as the Leader 120, and you could probably break it. So with that in mind, I would use the prop guards on this one. I don't usually ever use the prop guards, but I'm usually not crashing on super hard surfaces. There's a little bit of grass in this field, so I'm pretty good here. But it seems to have plenty of control, and I have all the rates set to stock. Everything in here is 100% stock. The rates, none of the PIDs are messed with at all. So I found this first battery really enjoyable. Now the second battery here, this is at a different location, and this time I decided to use the stock props that came with it, those 5-bladed green props. And there's a little less vibration, but I can still see it. Whoops, bounced off the ground there. But it seems to be a pretty nice freestyle machine for how small it is, and it's extremely fast low to the ground and very responsive. But the camera, I think the camera is probably where this one is lacking. I love the power system. I like the omnibus on here. Betaflight 3.1 is okay. You can upgrade it to 3.2 and it'll fly just a little bit better. You can turn on that dynamic filtering. And just taking some small chances through there. And I did crash a handful of times, and I didn't damage my frame, so that's something to be said for the carbon fiber. But I'm just looking at it, it doesn't look like the greatest. So yeah, and it's extremely forgiving, and I hit a fence right there. So here I am back out again with another battery and just really getting a feel for these sticks. And I'm on like my 3rd battery now, and it's I'm getting a little more used to it. So it's really pretty responsive. Much smaller than the Leader 120, but it feels really nice. It's come dangerously close to the ground. I love flying fast and low. And it's just grass out in this field, so no big deal there. Come in nice and close to the top of that tree, back around. And these batteries with these XT30s on there, guys, I would highly suggest doing that with yours. You're just going to get a way better power distribution to your power system in your quad. You're going to get a way better voltage opened up to your ESCs and your motors. It's gonna fly a lot different than with JSTs. But that's about it for this review, guys. I think it's a pretty good quad. If you get one, grab an extra frame if they're available and hook up your receiver and it'll be good to go. I think this is going to be another winner for me. I'm enjoying this one a lot.